welcome to my channel. I am a Lady Arcanum, and this is Arcanum's Dark Light. And I wanted to hop on here and make this quick video because in my research and the things that I study and the things that I teach and mentor, there is something that I want to share, especially for those, this is specifically for those who are kind of beginners and have come out of Christianity or any system, dogmatic system that capitalizes on fear. So I wanted to just share something because I think this is important to highlight when we are working with angels and demons and entities and all of the above. So I was reading something from a book called A Dictionary of Angels, including the fallen angels. And this is by Gustav Davidson. So I was going over creating a video talking about a specific, every month on Patreon I highlight an angel, and then at my left-hand path tier, I highlight a demon. So it is interesting when you do the research and put together all this information, the origins. And so I think this is something important to share. Will we talk about understanding the origin of demons, where they came from, because we want to know all of these. For some reason, when we begin on our path and it's a bit lighter and we start working with angels, a lot of us don't necessarily do all of that hardcore research, but it's not until we get into working with, for some of us who take that path, get into working with demons, that we decide, wait a minute, I need to do more research about this particular entity and find out more and, where they came from. So in this book, there is, you read this paragraph and, give just an understanding of the polarities and the parallels of angels and demons. So, according to Revelation 12, the rebel host aggregated 1/3 of the angels in heaven. So what that means is the rebel host, meaning the ones that resided in heaven, angels, like the ones that were against the rebelling angels, kind of gathered up a certain amount of angels. Well, the angels that were not in alignment or against, or warring angels against heaven. They fell for 9 days, right? So this is this information that has been gathered through various texts. And that's not what I want to go into here, the origins of that. I do that, I'm not going to do that here, but I just wanted to highlight this. So they fell for 9 days. So throughout the course of 9 days, these angels that were gathered together, the angels that rebelled were gathered together, and throughout the course of 9 days, they were fallen from heaven. Their number was estimated in the 15th century to have been, listen to this number, 133,306,668. Now, in parentheses, it states that the tabulation, the gathering, the numbering of this, of Cardinal Bishop of Tusculum, this bishop gathered this information and through various writings and texts and came up with this number. Enoch 1 speaks of 200. We often only hear the 200 angels that fell, right? Enoch 1 speaks of 200 apostates meaning those that the rebel angels that have a different belief system now, right? So Enoch 1 speaks of 200 apostates, but names only a score or so. A score or so is a certain amount. The following are drawn from Enoch's listings, supplemented by lists from other sources in Apocrypha, in Kabbalah, Goetia, rabbinic text, meaning texts written by rabbis, patristic, and secular writing. So pretty much gathered from all sources that were found to be like origins of different angels. So they gathered all of these and came up with that 133 million number of angels. So now, with that said, over the course of 9 days, so you had a certain millions of angels falling each day for 9 days. Now, the reason I wanted to read that was because now, right, give or take that number, give or take a million or two. But even if you put it in the thousands, when you think about that, you may be someone that only decides, I am going to work with angels only, invoke angels, right? Because, in your mind, you don't want to work with demons because you've been told that they are this evil source of being. When you invoke an angel, and for those that have been privy to visuals, what is the visual you get? Is that visual based on what you have read? Is that visual based on images that you have seen in various books, movies? So the reason why I'm pointing this out is because prior to the fall, these now demons or daemons were angels, which means they look like angels. So when you are invoking an angel, what does it look like? When you are invoking a demon, what does it look like? So, and when you look at some of these angels that fell, the topic this month was Abaddon. And Abaddon, his role was to, it is said that his role was to kind of manage, and he was, he controlled the abyss. He had the keys to the abyss. So, but in earlier texts, abyss meant a place. That's another video. I don't want to get into the translation of things because that's a whole topic in itself. All of this, when you think about all of this, think about, right, even on both sides of the coin, when you are invoking a demon, what does that visual, is that visual based on you having this horrific view of what it should look like, this infernal view of what it should look like? Or, when you invoke an angel, is it because you have this celestial view of what it should look like? I think the line is blurred. So that is one of the biggest reasons why I try my best very hard, because we are influenced every day by something. I try my best when doing research to just, when someone begins to talk about a description of what that demon looks like, I try to hurry up and like get past that so that that doesn't seep into my soul, so that I have this form, this visual based on what was written. But in any case, you know, it happens. But I go into this trying, you know, making sure I do my best to not have expectations, because these are angels. A lot of these demons were, as you can tell by that number, if we were to go by that number, if we were to go by at least 90, a third of that number, a lot of demons were fallen angels. And, you know, there's other entities and things, what have you, that like the archons that, you know, we could go into and talk about, and the watchers. But I just want to talk about these fallen angels, because I want to, my point I'm driving home here is go into this without, when you are beginning, you can, just knowing this should alleviate some fear. Or you'll go into fear even invoking angels. But the takeaway, because these are things that were written, these are visuals that are given by people's personal gnosis, and their personal gnosis could be based on their perspective from things they've read and seen. So really try to do your best to go into this without, well, they said this is what that's going to look like, so maybe that's what I'm going to see. Do your best to say, well, that is that view, that person's view, or this is, even though, and this could be the thing that millions of people said they saw, but again, that trickles down from, you know, a few people's personal gnosis saying, okay, that's the same thing they saw, so then all of a sudden this is what a bunch of people are seeing. Still doesn't matter, right? It still could be not the, well, I'm not going to say not, but just go into this with not having expectations of what it is that's going to come forth. Because even when you are contacting angels, they can come forth looking like what your perception of a demon is, because they're all angels. But not all, but 133 million are said to be. But yeah, so I just wanted to come on here and drop that little information, you know, things we are chatting about on this journey, and things that I would like to share with those that are having this fear, this underlying fear. You know, a lot of us walk out and say we're going to do this because we know we want to, we're driven to do it, but there's still that underlying element of fear that we are working on chiseling away at. So sharing some of these things, I feel can help. It helped me, you know, when I originally hopped on this path to the darker side. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions, let me know. Come on over and check us out on Patreon. Our next Zoom is, if you catch this before that happens, but we have Zooms just about every Wednesday between the left-hand path tier and the general tier. It's a Zoom just about every Wednesday, and sometimes some that are just the last minute. But come on over and check us out on Patreon. And that is it for this video. I love you all, and Into the Shadows.